Established in 1937, Holland Beckett is a full-service law firm based in Tauranga. Today we're going to discuss the issues of contracts with senior solicitor Ben Eagleson. So Ben, first of all, what are terms of trade?
Terms of trade are a set of provisions that the seller or supplier of goods usually has as the contractual basis for supplying those goods or services to a purchaser of those goods or services. They're usually found on credit opening forms or on the back of invoices, or also just handed out as terms of trade. You sometimes see them on the walls of stores such as dry cleaners.
Yeah, so can you give us examples of where else we might find terms of trade in everyday use?
In an everyday situation, you would come across these multiple times. I'd give the instance of the average person going out on the town, maybe say running a few errands. In the morning they might park their car in town in the car parking building. Up on the wall are those terms of trade as you drive in. So those terms of trade might cover such things as terms of use for the car park, lock it or leave it sort of provisions, how much it costs to park there for the day or per hour, and also limit the liability of that car parking building for if there's any break-ins, and also of course the old if you lose your ticket, how much that might cost. As I say, there's any number of situations in day-to-day use where terms of trade are relevant, and people just would tend not to realise that these are contracts that they're entering into because it's so run-of-the-mill.
So what should someone do if a supplier of goods and services attempts to enforce a term from their terms of trade against them?
Well, the first thing they should do is they should attempt to locate their copy of the terms and conditions that the supplier is trying to enforce against them to make sure that what the supplier is saying marries up to what they've actually got in writing. The second thing they should then do once they have located that copy is see whether they signed those terms of trade. Some credit forms and some terms of trade have provision for the buyer to actually sign them, and the courts are more willing to uphold terms of trade if the purchaser has actually assented to them by signing them. And then again, lastly, they should attempt to remember when the first time they got those terms of trade and whether those terms were specifically drawn to their attention. There is case law to suggest that where there is an unusual or unreasonable term in terms of trade, then that does need to be specifically drawn to the purchaser's attention, otherwise it may be unenforceable.
Now, if anyone has a query on this topic, how can they contact Holland Beckett?
We're always willing to help with these sorts of contractual disputes. You can either visit our website, which is www.hobeck.co.nz. We're also in the town phone book and at 525 Cameron Road.
Great, thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you.
So if you've been tied into a contract you're not happy with or have any questions or queries, give the team at Holland Beckett a call.